Joined in studio now with Mark Zelinski, who's a longtime Oakville resident as well as author and, of course, a photographer. Now, Mark, you have traveled the world, literally capturing some of the most beautiful places. Talk to us about the series that we have in front of us today.
So 3 of these books I call my Books That Heal initiative. They took 35 years to create, traveling over about 70 countries over that time. This book is a book about education, experiential education. It has a foreword by Justin Trudeau. These 2 books are without words, and I've donated 7,000 of them to charities around the world. So where I took the photos, they've actually gone back to those countries and are now in orphanages and schools around the world.
Incredible. And we did have a bit of a discussion beforehand talking about your images as well, the rare places that you've been, and the cameras that you're using as well, because they're not edited. This is another thing.
Well, these projects go back to 1975, so it's way pre-digital.
Yeah.
So what I shot is what you get. I don't do any photoshopping to the images.
And so you've gone around the world and brought it home again.
Yes.
And one of the books that we have in front of us is a book about the Royal Botanical Gardens.
Right. It's called Canada's Royal Garden. It's a year in the life of RBG, including the gardens, the sanctuary lands, their educational programs, and scientific programs. So it's really a very interesting book. And
for your viewers, what are some of the things that they can really engage with in the book?
Well, there's one of the things about RBG that a lot of people don't know is the lands that they steward have the highest level of biodiversity in Canada, Cootes Paradise. So we're really looking at the sanctuary of species that are there. But also the educational programs are fascinating that they've been running for nearly 100 years there.
Fantastic. And lastly,
yes.
But I'm sure not the last of your books, but your most recent book that you're unveiling, and you have an event coming up, but showcasing the escarpment in which we live in.
That's right.
Okay, so talk to us about what our viewers can see in this
so this is a 5-year journey along the beautiful Niagara Escarpment, starting with a geological chapter, including that's Horseshoe Falls. And what a lot of people don't know is that the escarpment is a fossilized coral reef that was at the center of an inland sea 450 million years ago, so it's a very unique landform. And then it moves up the Niagara Peninsula, which is protected by the Greenbelt. So there's a chapter written by Burkhard Mosberg, who founded the Greenbelt, because it's a very important protection that we have. Otherwise there'd be houses and factories and quarries all along the escarpment if it wasn't protected.
Absolutely.
Then we move into the conservation areas. This is Mount Nemo right here in Burlington. And I had to climb up the side of Mount Nemo to actually get to the ancient cedars, some of them which are more than 1,000 years old. So this is also in Burlington at Royal Botanical Gardens. This is their endangered species person. So this is one of their programs, scientific programs, where they find turtle eggs that are laid in dangerous places. They'll incubate them and then hatch them and release them into their waters.
Fantastic. And now a part of the event that you're going to be hosting, you're going to have some guest speakers involved, and this picture kind of explains some of
there's actually going to be at least 2 Indigenous performers and writers and people that are in the book at the event. So there's actually 3 chapters in the book that were written by the Haudenosaunee at Six Nations, New Credit First Nation, and also up north the Anishinaabe of the Bruce Peninsula and Manitoulin Island.
Fantastic. So, and I do believe we had one last photo. It was of the turtle.
Yes,
the famous turtle photo there.
I just love the story behind this. So I got closer and closer to the snapping turtle, which is a bit risky, but it seemed to be allowing me to do it. So I was lying on the ground. We were about a foot apart, and then I noticed its back legs were moving. So I got up, and it had been laying eggs while we took the picture.
Oh, wow. So, phenomenal. So those are just some of the images amongst many that people can get a chance to look at, and as well get a hold of your book. And you have the event that is coming up, and that's on Thursday next week. So the event is taking place at Hikers Haven.
That's right. And
that does take place at 7 p.m. and it is an event for the public to attend.
That's right, yes.
And for more information, how do they get a hold of you?
MarkZelinski.com is the easiest way.
Fantastic.
All my info's there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Krista.